Hi there, stampers and crafters. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Tami from stampwithtami.com. And for today's card, we're going to do a little home improvement. Just call me Bob Vila from this old house. No, not really. But I am going to show you how to install a window in a brick wall. Super cool, right? This card idea came from Angela McKay. And coming up in a minute, I am going to show you a couple Tami hacks I kind of created to make this card super easy to make. On my Perfect Pine Peekaboo card video, I was talking about how to choose a card design for when you're designing for larger wish lists. And this one, it is a little bit more involved, so I would probably create this one for a smaller list. And it leads me to a funny story about a friend of mine who every Christmas time she would create two different card ideas for Christmas. And one was your regular card, your regular wow card that was easy to duplicate and that she made for most of her card list. But then she had her A-list card, and those were her stamper friends or her really special people who she wanted to make a little extra something for, and she'd probably make about 5 to 10 of those cards because they were a lot more involved. So it was kind of like her little Hollywood A-list and B-list of Christmas cards. No, that was not me, by the way. I make the same card every year no matter how involved it is. You're all very special to me. I thought it was funny, and I actually thought it actually is a great idea if you want to go over the top for a certain few special people that you know will appreciate it. All right, on that note, let's get started. Love to give you just a little close-up inside the window. This window is actually cut out, and this is actually designer Vellum behind it. Oh, it is so gorgeous in person. And I'm dying to show you how to get this brick and mortar look that is defined here, and it's so easy. But when I went to recreate it, I had a little bit of a hard time figuring out how to cut out behind this window. And so I created this little hack. So yeah, I guess we're just going to start a new collection of Tami's hacks. I'm going to start with the big shot work. And if you're new to my channel, thank you, and be sure to subscribe. All of the supplies that I'm using today and the dimensions for this card and other details are available on my stampwithtami.com blog by going to this URL or clicking in the link in the description below. If you're on YouTube, just click right on this video. I've got a brick wall folder here and some archival black ink, and I'm just rubbing the ink on the side of the folder that says Sizzix on it. It's the side that's raised. Like one side is indented and one side is raised, and I'm sure there's technical terms for that that some of you probably know. But we're just going to go with raised and indented. So I just kind of rubbed the ink pad directly over that part of the folder. And then we're going to take our cherry cobbler cardstock and put it on the inside. Be careful not to move it around once you close the folder. So for impression folders, we want the multi-purpose cutting platform on the Big Shot on tab 1, open-faced. Sandwich our folder between two cutting pads and crank it through the Big Shot. And then when we open, wow, right? And it really is that easy. These wipe off with a wet paper towel, a wet wipe, or just run it under the sink. Okay, next for my first hack. I actually want to cut a rectangle out of the front of this so it looks like this because we're going to want to see through it. And you can use your paper cutter to do that, but I was having a hard time figuring out the measurements and I wanted to be able to do it easy. I measured down a 1/2 inch and put a little tick mark right in the center, and then measured down 3 3/4 inch and put a little tick mark there. This is the second largest banner die framelit. You may even want to use your magnetic platform if you have it handy. I don't, so I'm going to take the cardstock and line up that top tick mark with the top of the banner framelit. I want that to be in the center. Since I don't have my magnetic platform, I'm taking a Post-it note to hold that steady. The second tick mark, I'm going to line up with the edge of the cutting pads. So we're not cutting the full length of this banner. We're actually only going to cut part of it. And then we'll just crank it through the Big Shot, just like that. Again, you can use your paper cutter to cut this too, but I was just having a hard time with measurements, and this worked awesome. So it didn't cut the actual tail of the banner. See how it just cut there? And then you can take a paper cutter or your scissors and cut that out. It doesn't have to be straight or anything because you're not going to see this on the card. My second hack of the day also involves the Big Shot and the Hearth and Home framelits that used to be on back order, and I'm pretty sure by now or by the next couple of days, they are all in and access, so you can order them without worries. And I'm actually going to cut out all at once. There's the window and the window sill that we're going to be using. This black panel that I'm using is going to become this layer right here. So this actually does two things for us. It cuts the window shape out that we need to be able to see through that black layer. There's no reason to waste paper. It also cuts out our window, so kind of a little double bonus for us there. So sandwich that between two cutting pads on tab 2 and crank it through. These two pieces are going to go on top of the card. This is going to go underneath. And one last section for the big shot. We're going to cut the word Merry from Christmas Framelit Thinlits. Also has Peace and Jolly in case you want to swap them out. Cut that out of gold foil cardstock. Sandwich between two cutting pads. And if you haven't seen any of my videos on priming your framelits and edgelets by running them through the big shot the first time you use them with a dryer sheet, I highly recommend doing that so these guys pop right out. But if they don't, this paper piercer gets it out quick and easy for you. Our vellum comes from the Winter Wonderland Designer Vellum Stack. This comes 6 by 6 and we only need a 3 by 3. So many of these designs will work great. I wanted to use the snowflakes even though it appears that you're looking from the outside inside the card, and really snowflakes would probably be outside. I loved them and I thought it was cool. But if you were making a bunch of these, you'd probably want to use all of the designs. Angela used this one that looks like almost stained glass, which is also beautiful. And now that we have all of our pieces, we're going to layer them together. I'm starting with some snail adhesive. Okay, so I put some snail around the edge of this brick wall section that's going to layer over the black one that we cut the window out of. And before we attach that to the white card base, we want to put the vellum underneath it. So adhesive does show through on vellum because it's see-through, see? La-la, see-through. Put a little bit on the edges that these little edges aren't really going to show, so I'm going to put some vellum on them, but don't stick it just yet. Line it up first. Once we got that lined up, then we can stick this down. Now, this panel is going to go down with Stampin' Dimensionals. I really wanted this to stand up, so I did put a few dimensionals on there so it looks like you're looking through that window. And we'll attach that. We used snail to put the window pane down and then Stampin' Dimensionals to put the sill below it. You could use glue dots if you wanted, but I did put a little bit of snail behind the M, the R, and the Y, and then I just line that up at a little bit of an angle. Don't want to forget our Merry Christmas. This is kind of cool. This is another cool little tip. This comes from the To You and Yours Stampin' Up set. It's in the 2015 holiday catalog. But as you can see, it says Merry Christmas, and we actually already have the Merry here in gold, so we just want Christmas to you and yours. So in order to eliminate the Merry, I took a black Stampin' Right marker and colored right on the stamp itself. This is one of our photopolymer stamps, so it's clear. It's cool. We'll be able to see right through it. So once we've colored the words, we're going to stamp them in the center of this little white scrap. Again, dimensions are on my blog. Okay, we're going to slide that into the square punch. Just like that, and then just punch that, and that's going to give us our perfect little banner tail. And we'll do that on both sides of this one. And that attaches to our card with some Stampin' Dimensionals, and I kind of put it over the window a little bit. So awesome, right? And then you can just attach a wooden snowflake. These are also in the holiday catalog from Stampin' Up, and some gold cord for a little finishing touch, and it's awesome and a lot easier than you thought. I mean, if you were building a house and you were putting a window frame in a brick wall, it would be so much more difficult than that was, right? I hope you've enjoyed this really cool Christmas card. Again, all these supplies are available in my online store at my stampwithtami.com site. Thanks for joining me today.